Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking you through my brand new trading dashboard that I recently completed the other day. You know, for the last couple of years, I feel like I've been through pretty much every template that exists online, and for some reason or another, I've never found one that suits me perfectly. Not only do I want to have that trading journal, but I also want an area that can comprise everything else that I have. And that includes all of my testing data, whether that's backtesting or forward testing, a place that has my trading plan and all of my different trade entries, and also an area that has all of my goals, all of my self-reviews, and even a habit tracker and stuff like that. Now, if you like what you see from the template, and I'm hoping you do, you can click the link in the description below, and that's going to take you to Notion, where you can create a copy of the template yourself to do with as you wish. Just a quick reminder as always to leave a like and comment if you find this template useful, or if you have any suggestions or questions that you need to ask. As always, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. This is a brand new channel, and as I've said in my previous video, I've got a lot of content that I want to be getting out, and just helping as many fellow traders as possible. Most importantly though guys, don't forget to check out the link to my Discord server in the description below. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been having some really good discussions between some of our members, and I can really see this community beginning to grow. And if you want to be involved with some like-minded traders, then be sure to join. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. So guys, once you've followed the link, your screen should be looking like this. First thing you're going to want to do is to come up to this top right hand corner, and you're going to click this duplicate button here. What that's going to do is it's going to copy the entire template, and it's going to paste it into your own workplace so that you've got full control of your own copy. Right guys, so now you've duplicated your own copy, it's yours to do as with you wish, but I'm just going to take you through some of the key sections and show you how some of the tables and stuff work. So to begin with, we've got the trading dashboard. This is pretty much your home page for everything trading related. As you can see at the top here, we've got quick links for a whole bunch of sections. Just quickly going through them, we've got the trading plan, including setups. We've got 3 different types of testing we can do, so case studies, forward tests, back testing. We've got our journaling section with our trade journal. We've also got our resources section. This includes notes, any downloads we may have, and a reading list. And then finally on the far right, we've got our goals, and this includes our trading goals, our habit builder, and also our weekly reviews. So below our quick links, we've got an overview of some of the key areas we might be wanting to look at on a regular basis. On our top left here, we've got our goal planner and tracker. This top section here works as a vision board for some of your long-term goals, which can then be split down into your quarterly goals, your monthly goals, your weekly milestones, and then also a little section at the bottom here to reflect on the previous month's key lessons. Up here on the top right, we've got our important bookmarks. This is where I include links to the sites that I'm using on a daily basis. So I've got TradingView here, which is what I use to mark up my charts. I've got my economic calendar here, so I'm up to date on all of the news releases. And then I've also got a link to my Forex funds and my chosen broker there. Just below, I've got my habit builder, and this is a good way just to keep sort of up to date on what habits you're trying to track. Good way to visualize your progress and keep on top of any ones that you might sort of be missing out on. Just below that, quite similar, we've got a morning routine. This is my personal morning routine that I found works best for me, sort of getting me up in the morning, making me most productive. And yeah, I just try and every morning will come on, tick through these little check boxes, and yeah, make sure I complete each task. As you can see, one of my tasks here is daily affirmations, which brings us to this box just here. As you can see, I've got a whole range of statements here. Every morning I just like to read these out 3 times, or even write them out. That's probably even better. I do that sometimes, but yeah, minimum read them out 3 times to myself out loud. And yeah, no, they're really good. Really give you that confidence in the morning before you begin trading, and really just reinforce all of the messages that are within each statement. So just below those sections, we come to the weekly plan, and this is split into the 7 days of the week, although I've combined Saturday and Sunday here for the weekend. Now what you can do if you like is every morning you can come to whatever day of the week it is, and you can list 3 things you're grateful for that morning, and then you can also list some of the targets you have for that day. And then once you've completed your day, you can then come back to this plan again, and you can fill out some lessons you've learned from that day, some wins, and then again end the day as you began and list some things you were grateful for. Right guys, so now I've given you a little overview of the home page. We can come back to these quick links that we've got here, which is probably the sections that you guys are most interested in anyway. So we'll start over here on the left with our trading plan section, and this has got our trading plan here and also our setups, but we'll head into this trading plan first and I'll take you through that. So this trading plan template is obviously suited towards the style of trading that I use, but you can obviously edit it if you need to change some certain sections. For me, that means I start off with my higher time frame POI selection, and I'll have a checklist for all the things I need to see for that. Underneath that, I've got my lower time frame execution, and again it's another checklist where I'll be ticking off everything I need to see to validate that lower time frame execution. Below that, I've got my trade management, and I've actually left this in for you guys to see. You know, it tells you everything I do. 20% partials at 4R to make the trade risk free. If I'm pro trend, this is where I'm targeting. If I'm counter trend, this is where I'm targeting. And you know, if I'm in a range, which I don't usually get involved in that much, but if I was going to, again, this would be my trade management. Same as underneath, I've got my risk management, you know, maximum 3 losses a day, only ever risking between 0.5 and 1%. And yeah, some other things down there. Below that, we've got a section for mapping. I've again left this in for you guys. This is how I do my mapping. I'm always starting on the weekly and daily, go down to the 4 hour, M15, and then I'm only ever using that M1 for my lower time frame execution. So below our mapping, we've got our entry models. In here you can add, you know, maybe diagrams you have of your different entry models, and this can work as just a quick reference point when you're in the market to come back and, you know, double check those entry models if you're maybe unsure a setup's sort of valid or not. And again, underneath you've got your high probability examples, which is another area you can come back to as quick reference. And yeah, you can include some pictures here of some maybe really high probability live market trades that you've taken in the past. And then at the bottom here, guys, I've just got, you know, some important messages that I always try and reinforce. So I have them here so I can always read them. And yeah, most importantly, as I say, always respect price action. So within our setups page, we've got different sections for all our entry models. You know, I've named these entry model 1, 2, 3, 4, as you can see, but you can obviously rename these to specific names you have for your different entry models. If you need to make any more, you can just click these sort of 6 dots here on the left hand side and click this duplicate button, and again that's just going to duplicate the page in there that you can have if you've got maybe more than 4 entry models that you need. So within the entry model template, we've got our strategy criteria. What I like to do here is add in a to-do list. You can do that by that, and I'll add in all the different criteria that I'm looking at for this specific entry model. Then when I'm in the live market, you know, I can come back and go through, make sure that I'm checking all of these boxes. If I'm not, maybe I know it's not a valid trade and I should be sitting out of that specific setup. Below that, we've got a diagram section. Here again, you can add an image of a diagram you maybe have of the entry model, and again use this as a reference point to always look at when you're looking at those setups in the live market. Similarly, below that, we've got our trade examples, another section for you to add images of those really high probability trade examples you may have from the live market. Right, so now we've gone through the trading plan section with our trading plan and setups. I'll take you through our testing section where we've got case studies, forward tests, and backtesting. So case studies is actually the first form of testing I do when I'm learning a new strategy. Basically what you want to do is you just want to go through some previous price action, find those, you know, key turning points in the market maybe that you're looking to enter on, and then go back within that price action and see if you can sort of deconstruct a setup from within that. You know, you're not going to be using bar replay or anything like that. You're sort of using hindsight in your advantage, seeing where the market did make big moves and seeing how you could have capitalized on that with the strategy that you're learning. And to create your own template, all you need to do is come to this button here where it says generate new case study template, and you're going to click that and it's going to open up a new template for you. So once you've clicked to open up a new template, you'll be taken to this page, and what you need to do is you're going to have to click this button here where it says one hidden group, and this is going to open up the table for you. I'm not actually going to go through all the different sections in this table now because it's very similar to the one I use in my backtesting and within the trade journal, so I'm going to go through that at a later point. But basically the most important thing is you just got to click this new button here to input, you know, that trade that you want to use as your case study. You know, fill out all of these sections. If it has this symbol here, can't remember the Greek word for it, I know it looks like an E, so I'll just say the E symbol. It's going to be calculated for you, so you don't need to add any, input any data into them. But yeah, I'll get into more detail about this table when we're going through the backtesting or the trade journal, probably the trade journal, because that's the most important thing on here. So after you've gathered your case studies, the next form of testing you want to do is forward tests. Basically what this is trading the live market, either on a demo account or just on TradingView or something, and you're going to be taking all of the live setups you see, trading as if you were on a live account, just not risking that capital. But yeah, this is a really good way of getting some sort of live market trading experience without having to risk your own capital, and it means you can practice that strategy in the live market, get that experience, get a feel for what it's like trading it in live market conditions. You know, if you're entering on the M1 in backtesting, it might not be that bad because you can see all that data in front of you. But when you're doing it in the live market and you don't know where price is going, you can see it fluctuating around your break even constantly. You know, you just get a much more real picture of the strategy that you are trading. So for the template, we've got our markups here, and we've got a little section for key lessons here. And this is just where you can put in, you know, some key lessons that you've learned from these forward tests that you've been doing. If you go back, we've got our template where you can click here to generate a new template, but below I've actually got an example for you. So each forward test template is broken down into the 5 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And we've got our weekly total at the bottom where we can have this in total R or total dollars. You know, you can obviously change this for a different currency if you want. And then a little section for any lessons we may have learnt during this week. But yeah, you can see from the example that I've given you, I've actually filled out Monday completely, and I'll take you through this in just a second. But all of this data here is actually from the previous video that I have on YouTube, where I showed you how I managed to make over 70R in just one morning with SMC price action only. Yeah, if you haven't looked at that video, you should definitely check it out, as I'll break down, you know, these 4 trades I take here completely, all the way from the weekly, daily, 4-hour, M15 and my M1 confirmations. So you want to be starting on your daily and 4-hour. If you click on this, you'll see you've got a little section for total R, and these will be calculated for you. This I've done on net profit split, and this is if you're risking 1% of your account balance per trade, and also a profit split of 80%. So this sort of helps you visualize how much you could be making with those prop firm accounts that you might be looking for. If you want to be changing it, you're going to have to change the equation within here. So you've got a section for your daily. This is where I like to put in a screenshot and also a link to the screenshot. And yeah, it's literally just a screenshot of the chart on the daily. You can obviously add some notes in underneath if you want to. I don't really feel like I need to that much for the daily. I can kind of visualize everything that's happening, but if you want to, you can do that. Same again on the 4-hour. I usually add a picture of the 4-hour before that day, and then at the end of that day, as you can see, we can see our price action changes within. And yeah, I'm just providing links as well for that. We then have our M15 and M5. Same process, we've got our total R. These will be calculated for us on the same process. For our M15 again, I'll have a picture before, and I will also have a picture after. M5 I don't actually use personally, but I've left that section in for you guys if you do want to use it. And then I've got it split into my London session and my New York session. Within our London, you know, we can have our overview of the whole London session. This is what I've got here. Again, these are the 4 trades that I entered that I took you through on the previous video. After our overview, we can split it into our different entries. Again, I've just provided pictures, but you can obviously, you know, add in your really detailed ASR, you know, advanced self-review of each trade, which I'd really recommend you do. It is what I do. I just haven't included it in this template, but you can see I've got, you know, a little bit of text within that picture there that you can check out. So yeah, we've got our entry 1, entry 2, entry 3, and entry 4. And again, this is just a really good way to visualize it. Same thing at the top with total R and percent gain, profit split. And then, you know, same for New York. This is what the template would look like without any of the inputs. I didn't actually take any trades in New York that day, I don't think, which is why this is empty. And yeah, as you can see, that's why total R and net gain and everything's all 0 there. Yeah, so that's the template for forward tests. Right, so within the backtesting page, we've just got the template here. What you're going to need to do again, like before, is click this generate new backtesting template, and that's going to create a new template for you. So once that new template's loaded, you're going to be taken to a page that looks like this. I'm not actually going to take you through this just now because this is literally the exact same template that I use in my trade journal. You know, some very, very minor differences, but yeah, they're pretty much the exact same, so I'm not going to bother going through both of them, or it would just be a waste of time. As you can see, we've got a section for our annual review, our different quarterly reviews, and then our monthly reviews are split into pages here. I'll quickly take you into one just so you know what it looks like. But yeah, very quickly, you've got a little section to add in all your key data. You've got a section for your monthly goals, your trades taken, that's the same table I was showing you earlier. You've got your daily markups, which is the same as those forward test templates. You've got a section for your reviews, and yeah, your monthly overview at the very end. Right, so now we've gone through the testing, let's finally get into probably what everyone's been waiting for, the actual trade journal. So just like before, to create a new template, all you're going to have to do is come down here to this button and click that, and it's going to create a new trade journal template for you to use. So yeah guys, as I was saying before, the trade journal template we have here is pretty much the exact same as the backtesting one I was showing you earlier. We've got our annual review, we've got our different quarterly reviews, Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and then below that we've got our monthly reviews, and I'll take you through these monthly reviews first so you can see how you'd fill them out. So within your monthly reviews, you've got your section up here where you can fill in your trades, your wins, your break-evens, your losses. Your win rate will then be calculated, and you've also got a section to put in your profit and loss, maybe in terms of percentages, or in capital gained if you'd prefer to have it in that way. We've got a little section here where we can put in our monthly goals that we want to focus on this specific month. We've then got that table I was talking to you about earlier, and yeah, I'll take you through that table now. So as I said before, to input a new trade into this table, all you need to do is click this new button here, and that's going to pop up a little screen where you can fill out all of these little sections here. So when you're putting in a new trade, you can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to call this trade number 1 there. In this section here, you can choose the pair. At the moment, I've only got Euro US dollar. If you want to add more, you just have to come onto here, you click edit property, and you've got our options under here, and you just have to click this little plus button, and you can add in Aussie US dollar or something, click enter, and it'll pop up. And now if you want to choose Aussie US dollar, you can do that. Same with the setup, you've got those entry models from earlier. If you want to change the name of these, same process, you just go back into here, click to edit. This will be calculated for you based on your R. I'm just going to move that above there for you guys. So say, my RR was 3R on this trade, it's going to be a win. If the trade came back to break even, it'd be a 0R, and if it's hit my stop loss for -1, it's going to be a loss there. As you can see, that's always going to change depending on what you put in this R, so you never need to put that in yourself. With your position here, are you long, are you short, you can fill that out. This is where you can put the date in. This is where you opened, let's say we opened it on the 7th of November. If you want to include the time, you come down here, click include time, and let's just say it was, 8:23, oh gosh, 8:23 in the morning. This isn't a real trade I took, I'm just making this up as I go. Let's say it closed the next day. Again, you can include the time. Let's say this time it closed at 15:38. And then all of these hours, day, month, year, session are all going to be calculated from these inputs. Hours is obviously the number of hours the trade was open. Day is the day of the week you opened it. Month, the month you opened the trade. Year, the year you opened the trade. And the session down here is the session you opened the trade in. As you can see, we opened at 8:23, so that was in the London session. This will change, between London and New York, Asian session, and even market close if you're entering between those spread hours. Down here we've got stop loss size, so you can, say you had a 5 pip stop loss, you can just put that in like that. And then we get to our confluences. This you can select as many as you want. These are the things that I'm looking at. Again, if you want to change them, you can just edit it within this confluences tab here. And yeah, I just put in, what I've seen. Maybe I've had a higher time frame mitigation, medium time frame mitigation, within the refined POI. We're in the premium demand. We've had an inducement, a chotch, and a flip. Below that, we've got a trend section. This is where we can put in what the different trends are doing. So maybe, the daily's bearish, the 4 hours bearish, but the 15 minutes bullish. And you can put it in like that, and you can do whatever you want. And then obviously here in the notes, you can just add, a few key notes that maybe you want to see within that graph. You're actually going to add, the majority of your analysis within this section. So this is just a really short, quick summary of pretty much the trade, maybe the main lesson you've learned from it, or key takeaway type thing. And then yeah, when you want to do your ASR or trade analysis, come down to this section. You're going to click this trade journal table template, and yeah, if you click on that, it's going to load up the sort of template I use to do my ASR. So as you can see, it's split into tons of different sections. We've got our higher time frame on here. It'll drop down. What I usually do here is I'll put in my screenshots of the higher time frame analysis, what price action was showing me, and maybe a little description of what I'm seeing. Same again for my medium time frame, and again lower time frame entry, just putting in those chart images, little description of what happened, what I was looking at, what I was expecting. Then we've got our trade management. This is where I'd put in, where I took TPs, how I could have maybe managed the trade better. Come down to psychology, same thing. You can put in how you were feeling during the trade, if you were confident, if at one point in the trade you were thinking of closing early because you were scared price was going to reverse, that type of thing. Really important to focus on psychology. Actually, it's probably one of the most important things you can focus on in your trading. And then again at the bottom we've got our lessons, and in here you can put in the key lessons you've learned from all of your trades within here. But this is a really good way of breaking down all your analysis of the trades you've taken, making sure you're really looking in. You might have taken an entry on the lower time frame, it looked really good. Then when you're doing your analysis, you realize the higher time frame was against you, the medium time frame was against you. Your trade management was poor. You can put that in the lessons here. Those are the lessons you've learned from that trade. But yeah, once you've done that, as you can see, I'll click off and it will come in here. And the good thing is, it's no longer down this no open. It will automatically come into the week that it's in. And so every trade that you input down here will all be sorted into the different weeks. So you look, if I change the open here to like the 15th or something, there you go. Now it's changed the week, and you can see this is now actually going to be in the hidden groups because there's no data, and you can just hide that, the two hidden groups there if you want, or if you're not using that week at all anymore, you can obviously just delete it like that. But yeah, that's how I use that table. Really useful, really good way of, highlighting everything about your trades. And then if you want to open it and go within, you've got that more detailed analysis down here of all the reasons you took the trade and, the lessons you've learned, how it affected your psychology, and so on. So below that table, we've got our daily markups, and these daily markups are actually the exact same thing as the forward testing I was showing you earlier. I'll just load it up and show you. But it's literally the exact same layout as before, split into the different days of the week. You've got your daily 4 hour here, M15, M5, and then your London, New York. You can always add an Asian session if you want. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Exact same as before. I don't include the profits or lessons down here because that'll be in my overall monthly thing anyway. And there's a section for my weekly reviews down here, as you can see, which we come to. This is pretty simple, just bullet list, main lessons I've learned for each week, and then we come to the monthly overview, which I'll do at the end of the month. And I've just got a couple questions that I'll answer each month. Review my trading, see what the main barriers holding me back, most importantly how I can overcome them, and then also reflect on my biggest wins of the month. So I've taken you through how you fill out these different months. What you can do at the end of the month, as I said, you can fill out these trades. So let's say you took 12 trades that month, 8 of them were wins, you had 2 break evens and then 2 losses. Obviously that's going to calculate your win rate, and you can put in your profit and loss here. Let's say, I don't know, plus 20% or something. There you go. And then as you're going throughout the year, you can keep filling these in, and this is just a quick summary of all your months. But once you've finished your first quarter, you can then come to the Q1 review, and I'll show you what these templates look like within. So here you can see the Q1 review template. This is going to be the same for all the different quarters we have. Small little quote up here. You've got a place for your summary statistics, so total trades, wins, losses, break evens, your strike rate, and your net profit and loss. These aren't calculated, so you're going to have to put them in yourself. And then I've got a series of questions here that I answer at the end of every quarter, reflect on my trading. It's really important to do that. What drives me to succeed? What have you done to improve my performances? Major lessons, major barriers, low point, high point. And really reflecting on where I can improve my trading and, what I'll be doing next quarter to improve. And then finally, at the end of the year, you'll come to your annual review, and you'll review your entire year. Pretty similar to the quarterly reviews, you've got your summary statistics, which you'll have to put in yourself. And then, very similar questions to before, but, focused on the whole year now. And this is a really good way to see how far you've come throughout that year. You might think you're not progressing much month by month, or even, quarter by quarter. But hopefully when you're looking back at the end of the year, you'll be able to see, how much progress you've made. and how far you've come. So that is my trade journal template. Obviously you don't have to use that, and if you don't want to, I've put this trade journal spreadsheet in here, and you can connect your Google Drive or something. If you want to connect anything else, all you have to do is click that key there for the commands. Once you're on the commands, you can scroll down and you can put in, here we go, you can embed, and there's so many different places you can embed from, and yeah, you can embed anything you want really, from Trello if you're using Trello, Dropbox or anything like that. So now onto the resources section. Firstly, we've got our notes section. I've pretty much left this as plain as possible. It's literally got nothing on it. I know everyone likes to take their notes in different ways, so I've left that to you. The page is currently narrow. If you actually want to have it wider, all you have to do is click this button up here, the 3 dots, click full width, and that'll change it to full width for you if you want to have more space to write your notes in. So we've then got our downloads page. Just show you that. Pretty simple again, left it as plain as possible. This is where you can just put in some downloads you maybe have. Maybe it's course content from a course you're taking, or I don't know, pretty much anything. Just left it here because I thought it would be useful for some of you. And then finally in the resources, we've got our reading list. And as you can see within this reading list, I've given you some examples of how you can fill it out. If you want to add a new book, all you need to do is click this new button here, and it will pop this little screen up here. You can put in the title of the book here, sort between the genre. You can obviously add different genres, as I've said before, by going in here and editing this. Same with the author, you can type in the author here, put on the date that you're starting it, number of pages, the current page you're on, maybe a little summary you want, and this will obviously calculate the progress of your current page within the total number of pages. And yeah, you can also add a little photo down here. I'll show you this Atomic Habits, which I'm actually currently reading, and yeah, you can put in a little photo down here so that it will show up. This will obviously fill in as you're going. Current page, way past that, actually I haven't filled this out, on about 130. As you can see, the progress will fill up like that. And you can also sort this through up here between currently reading, up next, completed, and you also have it in a table version as well if you prefer. And then finally guys, we've got our goals on the far right here. So we've got our trading goals, our habit builder, and our weekly reviews. I'll just take you through the trading goals first. So within our trading goals, we've got our long-term goals here. As you can see, I've included an example of to reach 100k in funding. If you click on this is how you'll be inputting the data. You've got your goal, so what the goal is, why you want to achieve this goal, how relevant is it, this is a drop down again, how realistic is it, again a drop down menu, most importantly, how are you going to achieve it. There's no point having a goal if you're not practical about it. I've included a start date and a date you want to achieve this goal by, and also the status. Are you working hard? Has it been achieved? Or maybe did you fail in trying to achieve it? And then this again, you can say when you did achieve it by. If you have achieved that, you can then type in that date of when you have achieved it. Underneath that, you've got some more sections you can fill out, like improvements, how you can improve the way of you're reaching your goal, do more of what, do less of something, maybe some specific actions you're going to take to achieve this goal. And you can also keep track of the progress you're making by each month, or you can change this. You don't have to have quarter, you can always change this to weeks, days, even if it's a short-term goal. And then you can just include a picture down here so that it shows up within here. On the right here, I've just got a little graph of how you can write some SMART goals. If you're ever struggling to keep to your goals and wonder why, make sure are your targets specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. If you're doing that, then you've got the highest probability you're going to achieve those goals. Finally, down here we've actually got a template, and if you again click this button here to generate the new trading goals template, it's going to generate a new template for you, and I'll show you what that looks like now. So within your trading goals template, you're going to see your goals split down into your annual goals, which you're going to be aiming to achieve by the end of the year. Obviously these annual goals will then be split down into your quarterly goals, and then again your quarterly goals you can split down into your monthly goals. So for Q1 you'll have your quarterly goals split down into January, February, March, Q2 into April, May, June, etc. And yeah, this is a really good way of aiming big, splitting them down into quarterly targets, and then again into monthly targets. Once you're in monthly targets, you can then do weekly targets, and it just makes those big goals a lot more manageable, but then at the same time a lot more attainable, because lots of small actions really add up, especially when forming habits and stuff, etc., which we will go on to now. So within the habit builder, we've got that table I was showing you earlier within the trading dashboard. These tables are linked, so anything you're doing on here is going to show on that dashboard screen. Anything you do on the dashboard screen is going to show within this table. Quite useful for showing up on the dashboard as well. Here's just a little graphic of how many habits you're currently making. If you want to change them, you just got to click on the stickers here, and copy an image, paste it in there. Made habits, you can also include how many habits have you made successful recently. Same thing, stickers within there. If you want to change it to 2, 3, 4, whatever, look in the stickers down there. That's pretty much it. And then finally, we've got our weekly reviews. And to generate a new template, you're just going to click this new button here, and then straight away you're going to click this weekly planning and reflection. Once you click that, it's going to load up the template that I use for my weekly reflection. So as you can see, I've split the weekly reflection and weekly planning into different sections. Firstly, how happy are you with the week? What were your big wins? Review your goals and assess how well you did. As I say, you can paste your habit tracker in here, so you can keep a track of, were you on top of your habits this week? Did you complete all of them? Were there some days where you maybe didn't do as many habits as you were supposed to? What were the reasons for that? And then here obviously, most importantly, what were the biggest lessons you learned this week? And then after you've reflected on your previous week, you can plan your next week. So what 3 big milestones do you want to hit next week that's going to mean the week is a big win for you? You're going to end that week feeling very positive. But then also, probably more importantly, what might prevent you from achieving that, and what can you do specifically to get around that and prevent that from happening? Also, if you want to, you can go back to the trading dashboard, go back down to that weekly plan we were looking at before, and you can just decide to copy all of this and then paste it back in those weekly reviews if you want to. If you always want to keep a track of what you were doing, what your goals were, what you were grateful for, it's a good way of keeping track. And you can just go ahead and paste that within your weekly planning and review you did for that week. So there you have it, guys. That is the entire template. I hope you find it useful. If you have any questions at all, be sure to drop them down in the comments. Even if you have any suggestions for improvements as well, be sure to drop them down. And I hope you enjoy it. I mean, it took me a long time to finally produce one that I was even happy with. I've been searching for a good one for over a year now, and I'm actually pretty happy with this. It's pretty much got everything I need to keep on track of all of my tasks, make sure I'm hitting my targets, and also always sticking to my trading plan, always performing that ASR in my trade journal, all of my testings all together. It's just everything all together in one place. Perfect, really. Cheers, guys. So guys, that wraps up the entire video. Thanks for watching. If you found that template useful, even if it's just a specific part, please be sure to leave a like and comment in the sections below. And as always, if you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. Just one final reminder of the Discord server I have. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner trader, an experienced trader, it's just an area for all of us to connect, discuss trade setups, meet like-minded people, and hopefully it's a place you'll enjoy as well. Thanks, guys.